Here too was the birth of what is known as paramilitary organisations. People who were willing to protect our area. People who lived in these communities who knew the mural of a graveyard, a cemetery, and it would have had the Grim Reaper, it would have had a gunman, and it would have had 3 crosses marking out the names of 3 known members of the IRA, which is from the Catholic Guardians, stating, "We're coming to kill you." So that's how fierce those murals would have been. Now that mural is in a smaller and they want them to get a good job. I got a family myself growing up in Belfast. I have 2 daughters and a son, and they have a great education. My oldest is 34. As we get a wee bit further along it here, it becomes more structural. And I'm going to just use people out of the vehicle at this point. Each driver does their own bit here, and I'm going to tell you all about this wall.
Que separa as 2 comunidades. O que divide a cidade é este. Estamos do lado distante, do lado de lá são católicos. É o mais alto.
What's going on there at the present minute in time, and that's why that wall was given that name, the International Wall, because the people
Belfast, Irlanda do Norte. Belfast City Hall. Precisa quanto de Cardiff? Que é país de Gales. Estaleiro, barulho do estaleiro.
That's where you worked in Belfast. My dad got me my start, then my brothers after me. You could hear the noise from where we lived, but nothing prepared you for the size of the place. They put me to work on 401. That's what we called her. We knew she'd be the largest passenger ship in the world, but we didn't call her Titanic then. I was there from the beginning. I watched the ship right through the keel blocks. They set big wooden blocks on the slipway to start with. Then the keel is top of that, like a backbone. And the frames attached to that, like a skeleton. Workshops everywhere. It took weeks to find a way around. There'd be workshops for every trade you ever heard of. Painters, sailmakers, coppersmiths, boiler makers, cabinet makers. I even learned a bit about French polishing of them. Harlow was a fine place to work, but dangerous. Every ship cost a life, and there'd be lots of injuries besides. I was in the engine works for a while. Very well equipped it was. That's where we built the triple expansion engines. 2 of them, each as high as a 3-story house. I worked in the frame bending shop. You'd heat steel beams in the furnace, then hook them onto slabs of cast iron and hammer them curved. It was skilled work. You had to bend them more than you needed because the frame straightened out a little when it cooled. The shell plates that made up the hull weighed up to 4.5 tons. They were taller than my dad. The plates were overlapped on the edges. Some were raised, one after another. We called it clincher. One of the foremen told me years ago, that's how you build steel ships. I worked as a heater boy. You had to heat the rivets on a wee plate. You pump the bellows till the rivet was white hot. Then you get a hold of it with your tongs and throw it up to the catcher. And he put it in the hole in the plate for the holder up. There were 2 of us on the other side of the plate to the holder up. We had to hammer the rivet so it filled the hole before it turned dull red. The double bottom. That's a wee space we called the tanks, made up of steel plates. The rest of the rivet squad all had to fit into that gap. One of the foremen would check each rivet with a special hammer. If it made a ringing sound, we'd have to go back and chase it out after work. We were paid 31 bob a week. The heater boy and catcher got 16 bob, but we all worked the same 54 hours. The upper deck was steel too, and part of the strength of the ship. There's no straight lines on the ship, and when you look down the lower deck, you can see the shear of a hull that stopped for reflection at sea. The stern frame had to be strong enough to take the rudder turning in heavy seas. You'd have all these
was flourishing, with new shops, restaurants and businesses opening to service a growing passenger trade. And job opportunities on board ship and in the docks brought migrants from all over Britain and Ireland.
By this time, nearly on a level with the deck, from which the boats were being lowered.
Now between lowering one boat and another.
Julgo que isto é uma reprodução de um vitral que estava no Titanic. Faz do estaleiro onde ele foi construído. Foi aqui nesta zona, foi construído um estaleiro de propósito para construir uma doca seca. Nesta zona onde estou. Há marcas no chão a mostrar as caldeiras, máquinas alternativas a vapor. E lá ao fundo está o Memorial Titanic Experience.
So I'm going to lose 3 more of our big family today. 3 ladies there that are going to hop off.